Now, I'm going to sound like a massive hypocrite in this video. That's purely because I'm complaining about something that I actively do. Now, a friend of the stream and the Discord has been complaining pretty much in the last 24 hours about the sheer amount of pre-pull shenanigans that are going on. Now, the reason I'm going to sound like a hypocrite is because if we look at this kill here, I do this on every single pull. Well, every pull where I'm not healing, because obviously as a shaman, I'm kind of that flex guy in 10-man, and some of the kills I'm healing, like Spine and Madness. But if we look at Morshock, for example, about 5 seconds before the pull, I'm putting Healing Rain down, it's proccing some trinkets, these trinkets in particular that I'm using, and then I switch back to my normal gear. Now, of course, at the same time, I'm using the Madness Heroic Weapon as well for the haste proc at the start. I'm using the 4-set Resto for the extra haste when I use Spirit Walker's Grace as well. So the first sort of 10 seconds feel absolutely great. Loads of haste from both of those bonuses from both the weapon and the 4-set. Loads of spell power to snapshot my fire early with. So again, it's going to sound like very hypocritical when I'm complaining about the pre-pull shenanigans when I'm doing it myself. Now, the reason I do it is probably for the same reason that all of you do it, because you want to actually bring the most damage that you can to the raid. But this is not the right way to be bringing damage. In fact, this is kind of getting out of control. I'm going to start straight away with the most obvious thing: how did Blizzard fix it? It's not very difficult. If you unequip something, it's not on your character anymore, then you lose the bonus. It happens with on-use trinkets, so if you equip, let's say, one of the 397 trinkets from the Valor vendor, and you use it and then take it off and put it in your bag, you lose the effect. The only effects that you keep are chance to proc trinkets, so equip trinkets. Now, I'd happily see Blizzard fix all of them in one sweep, so they get rid of even the 4-piece resto, so you can't carry over the haste bonus. And now the reason I'm complaining, because you might be like, well, if you're doing it, what's the problem? You clearly enjoy it. I mean, it's only 2 macros, it doesn't matter too much, but it's a bigger barrier to entry on some of these classes. And I didn't realize that until the conversation started on Discord. Because what people are actually saying is it's putting them off playing the class. Obviously, they want to be competitive. If they play a Demonology Warlock, they want to be competitive. They want to look at Warcraft logs at the end of the raid and feel like they're not absolutely terrible. The problem is the only way that you feel like you're not terrible is by doing what everybody else is doing. To compete as any class that's currently doing these pre-pull shenanigans, you have to be doing it as well, which then puts people off. I know loads of people personally that are not playing their Warlock anymore when they did in Phase 1, purely because they don't want to farm a mastery set. Now, I know many of you Warlocks that have farmed mastery sets and have been doing this for months and months and months. You won't care. You'll be like, well, it's no big deal, you know, but you've got your mastery set. Imagine coming back now and you're like, right, I'm going to reroll Warlock, and you've got to farm 2 full sets of gear to even be remotely competitive. Yeah, in my opinion, it kind of sucks. It's not just Warlocks and it's not just Shamans. If it was just those two, you could kind of be like, well, look, if you don't like doing pre-pull stuff, don't play these classes. But bloody everyone's at it now. You've got Fury Warriors farming mastery sets to be able to pre-pull their big cooldown. You've got rogues, well, sub-rogues specifically, farming mastery sets so they can get a big slice and dice on before the pull. You've got DKs and rogues, again, going back and farming a bloody epic head from Blackrock Depths just so they can proc equip trinkets before the pull. It's kind of gone crazy, and I think it's time that Blizzard actually got involved and they just make a sweeping change where anything that's not on your character at the moment you can't get the benefit from. And then as and when we, because of course we will, as and when we find ones that still work because they haven't managed to fix them all, they need to then just stop it instantly, stop it in its tracks. Because the only other place where actually it could kind of put a stop to all this pre-pull stuff, if Warcraft logs could detect that you got buff A, but then by the time the boss dies, you've no longer got the trinket that gives you buff A, it invalidates your log. I know that doesn't fix the problem in-game, but most people are doing this, or I would say pretty much everybody's doing this, and everybody's doing the pre-pull shenanigans purely for passes. I know this seems like a bit of a rant, and as I say, I literally do it myself, but what I don't like is the fact that it is actually putting people off of playing fun classes, because as soon as they hear you've got to farm a mastery set to be competitive, they're like, nah, well, I'm not doing that then. And sometimes, if that's the only class they want to play, like I personally know a guy that only plays Fury Warrior. Even though, yes, Arms is better, but he just loves Fury Warrior. As soon as he found out to be competitive, he's got to get a mastery set. He's not even coming back to the game now. That's quite an extreme example, but I'm sure he's not alone. So Blizzard, please just fix all this pre-pull stuff, because this is not how it's intended to work. It's irrelevant how it works originally. It shouldn't work like it now. You should only get the bonuses from items that you've got equipped. So I think you should do something about it. Oh, and by the way, before I go, if any of you saw this video I put out sort of late last night about potential Wrath Fresh servers, after reading through all your comments, thank you for commenting, by the way, because I probably did get a little bit excited, but it doesn't look like it's Wrath Fresh. Judging by what you guys are saying, it looks more like it's actually a big update for the Chinese Wrath servers. So apologies if I got you excited, but trust me, no one was any more excited than I was at the prospect of fresh Wrath servers. So, but again, apologies. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get some traction. Let's get Blizzard to actually do something and get all this pre-pull stuff fixed and out of the game, because it's not a very good experience, even for the people that are doing it, like me. Somebody who actually enjoys passing, enjoys pumping. I'm doing it, but I don't want to do it. I'd rather it was removed. Cool. I'll see you on the next one.